Welcome to another episode of
Tell You First.
So, Terence, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about something quite sciencey.
Okay.
And we have a special guest with us who is like the perfect guest to join us for this.
Yeah.
It's someone who lives and breathes science. And she is none other than Biogirl MJ, co-founder of Just Keep Thinking. And a science educator, essentially.
Yes, hello.
Content creator.
Yeah. Welcome.
A lot of things, but very happy to be here to meet everyone. Let's have a good chat.
Yeah.
Chat.
I think it's quite intimidating for us, right? Because being a science educator and then us trying to talk about science.
Trying to educate you about science.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. I mean, if you say the wrong thing now, I will tekan you a bit. But
Is that what you do normally with friends when they say something wrong?
I'll be nice. I'll like, actually, yeah.
So does it happen a lot?
In a nice way, there's always a nice way to correct people. But you don't want to, like make them think that what they're saying is correct. So yeah.
But so when you go to parties and all, is that your party trick? Like you have like an interesting science nugget to bring up like around the people.
Like anything,
the
people
party?
drinking beer, you'll be like, oh, do you know the 7 stages of alcohol fermentation?
There's 7 stages. I know it's made from the hops kind of affect the taste. Yeah, they will actually ask me to dish out science fact. Like in fact,
really?
my name card, there's a science fact behind all my name cards. It's a
is
good
it?
conversation starter. So
I see.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Cool. So, I mean, hopefully I'll be able to dish out some facts to you today because we're going to be talking about something that affects everyone in Singapore, mosquitoes. So to begin with, have you all heard of the term Wolbachia mosquitoes?
Yeah. I mean, wasn't it there's a whole scheme about
It's a program,
a
Terence.
program. Okay, sorry, a
It's a
program
project. It's
it's
Project
a
Wolbachia.
nationwide effort.
Yeah.
to try and sterilize some mosquitoes by having them breed with Wolbachia mosquitoes or something like that.
I mean, okay lah. Some truth
Almost
there.
there.
Yeah, some truth there. What about you, MJ?
Yes. I've definitely heard of it because it's like quite a novel project in Singapore. They started out. There was a lot of buzz around it earlier on.
Nice pun. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't notice that. Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it kind of died down. But recently we did a video project with them just to promote the BLOCK. Like everyone has their part to play. I remember one of the NDP days. I mean, we're talking about NDP's coming close.
Yeah.
They did. I think during my year, there's this like clapping thing. Like Mozzie wipeout.
Mozzie
Oh,
wipeout.
yeah.
It's like you put your hands up and you clap. Then everyone in NDP must do it. Yeah. So I think that was like the hype, the peak of it. Like everyone must know about Wolbachia.
So when you say BLOCK, what do you remember? What?
Wait, hey, hello. I'm going to get there. She's the
She
guest.
mentioned it, but
She's
she's
the
the
guest.
educator. Okay.
Yeah, okay. It's further down on my research.
Okay.
But like this whole program, this whole project, do you know the core of it is to curb dengue? Right?
Yes, of course.
So before we dive into the details, including what block stands for, Terence, do you know how many cases of dengue happen like a year in general, just to set the context of the problem?
I'm guessing like 200.
Huh?
Yeah, 200
Like
cases.
only 200?
Yeah.
Around the world, Terence.
Oh, around the world. I thought you meant
around the
Singapore.
world.
No, around the world.
I don't know, man. Around the world.
Take a guess, lah.
2 million.
Okay, 2 million a year, Terence.
1 million, yeah.
390 million.
We're quite far.
Yeah.
Okay, moved on, yeah.
Around like about 90 plus million show clinical symptoms. But in Singapore, like as of 2025, as of July 2025, how many cases you think have been reported in Singapore?
This year.
Yeah.
Oh.
150?
150?
No lah, lesser.
Less.
I saw, 10K a month around there. 30,000?
30,000?
30,000.
No, 3,000.
3,000.
But the thing is that is actually down from the highest we've ever had, which was in 2020, which was 35,000 cases.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I mean that drop has in part to do with the project Wolbachia lah, or at least all signs point to that lah. But you mentioned the block thing. It is basically part of the Mozzie wipeout and the whole clampdown on mosquitoes in Singapore. Since MJ heard of block, I'll ask Terence, what do you think block stands for? And it is the Mozzie wipeout technique.
Acronym, right?
Yeah, the acronym.
B for be ready.
Okay,
And
wrong.
then- no, okay.
L for?
L for look around.
Wrong.
No.
Okay, O?
O for outside your house.
Wrong.
No.
Okay, C?
C for clean up.
Wrong.
No.
Okay, and K?
K for what letter? What words start with K? I don't know.
Too late, wrong. So Terence, useless. Never watched that NDP. It stands for break up hardened soil,
Oh,
lift
yeah,
and
break up
empty
one.
flower pot plates, overturn pails and wipe their rims, change water in vases, and keep roof gutters clear.
I see.
Yeah. So Terence got 0 out of 5. So this next thing, which is also part of the campaign. So there's one part about curbing the spread of mosquito breeding, but to deal with mosquitoes, there is the SAW technique. So MJ, I'll throw it over to you. What is the SAW technique? What does S stand for?
What? There's a SAW technique. Hold up. Wait. To what mosquitoes again?
Deal with mosquitoes around you lah.
Wait. There's too many acronyms already. Wait.
Okay, we have to move on to the bulk of the episode. Just guess. S.
Okay. Sanitize.
Wrong. Okay, it's spray insecticide, apply insect repellent, and wear long sleeves and long pants.
SAW technique.
So as you can tell, it hasn't been the most effective in getting the message across lah.
Okay.
And that is one of those campaigns that the Singapore has been trying to do to educate people to take action. But the fact is, dengue has always been a problem lah. So, you all mentioned Project Wolbachia, right? It basically involves the release of a certain type of mosquito into the wild. So if I were to ask you at this point, right, how many mosquitoes do you think are bred per week for release in Singapore?
Oh.
10,000?
Yeah.
10,000?
7,000. Okay, around there. Yeah.
7 million.
7 million.
Oh, oops.
Per week?
Yeah.
At 3
Per
more
week.
zeros behind
Wow.
for me.
crazy.
And the place where these mosquitoes are bred is in Ang Mo Kio. And I will get to that. So the thing about Wolbachia, right? You mentioned the Wolbachia mosquito. Do you know what Wolbachia actually is?
I don't know, man, but it does sound like Chewbacca. And Chewbacca is like, he's like, I don't know, he's sterilized or something because he's such a loyal, pet.
Oh, he's
to
like a
Han
eunuch,
Solo.
is it?
Yeah, kind
Oh
of.
my goodness.
So in some ways, I thought the Wolbachia kind of reminds me of that.
I don't think they are related at all, but good
Ken
guess.
is Ken lah, yeah.
Yes. MJ, for you, Wolbachia?
Okay, so I know. It's a bacterium. Yeah. So they infect the males with this bacterium. And this bacterium, when they mate with the females, they will render her eggs unable to hatch. So not viable anymore. Yeah.
Yes. So that is the crux of the Project Wolbachia. But Wolbachia, you're right. It is a bacteria. It lives in many insects and worms. And there's estimates that it infects 40 to 60% of all insect species. And so it's one of the most widespread bacteria in the world. It's possibly the most common reproductive parasite. But it was unknown to science until 1924.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but how it led to the Project Wolbachia, I'll get to it lah. But basically, Wolbachia, the bacteria, once it's in an organism, it passes from mother to child through the eggs. But it can also jump from species to species. Sometimes insects, they lay eggs inside another parasitic wasp and all. That's how it can spread lah. So there are 4 things that the Wolbachia bacteria can do to organisms. So the first one, which is the basis of Project Wolbachia, is the cytoplasmic incompatibility.
Wow.
So basically that sounds complicated, but it's what MJ said lah. If Wolbachia male mates with non-Wolbachia female, the eggs will not hatch. And there's also parthenogenesis. So in some insects, Wolbachia makes females reproduce without males. So essentially clone themselves lah.
I see.
In other species, it can turn genetic males into functional females in some species. And in other species, it can cause all male offspring to die lah.
Wow.
So it's one of those things that when it enters a population, it can severely impact the population. It's still a lot of research being done, but you can imagine how when you hear, natural selection and evolution, things like this play a big part lah. So it was always seen as a weird thing, but it actually has become a core part of treating dengue in the world.
But do the mosquitoes that have Wolbachia, do they become more attractive to other mosquitoes?
No, apparently the research is they don't become more attractive, they don't become less attractive.
Oh, nothing.
They're just like another dude.
So it's like a silent, it's like just a
Yeah,
silent.
they don't suddenly become jacked or something like that. No.
Wow, the pheromones.
No. They apparently the research has showed that it doesn't affect the mating instances at all.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't know if we can interview a female mosquito, that would be useful. But until we can do that, don't know. So the interesting thing is, why it became part of Project Wolbachia. Basically, the belief is that all these dengue-carrying mosquitoes in Singapore, if you unleash male Wolbachia, mosquitoes on them. They will mate, they will reproduce, and all the eggs don't hatch, which means it decreases the population.
Yeah.
But there is also some other ways that Wolbachia is still being researched as to how they curb dengue spread. So one is they prevent the eggs from being hatched. They apparently shorten the mosquito lifespan in some mosquitoes. So I think mosquitoes generally have a lifespan of a few weeks, so it shortens it further. It blocks virus replication. So if the mosquito bites someone with dengue, the dengue might not even transmit to them because the virus multiplication is inhibited. And it even prevents the virus multiplying within the mosquito when it's inside. So just a Wolbachia mosquito basically is a worse carrier of diseases than a non-Wolbachia mosquito.
Nice.
It's not effective for all viruses. Sometimes it can boost the mosquito immunity, which doesn't even allow the virus into the mosquito. Or in some cases, it can make the mosquito a better transmitter. So that's a big risk, and I think that's in things like for the West Nile virus in the Sulex mosquitoes. But do you all know what type of mosquitoes are in Singapore, or how many different species or subspecies of mosquitoes there are in Singapore?
Asking how many?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a
that's a tough one. I only know the 3 that spread dengue So
Oh, which one?
Aedes.
Aedes aegypti, Aedes pico, albius something, then the Culex one.
The
so 3
that's
main
not
one,
bad,
That's
man.
crazy.
That's 3 out of 4.
Yeah. How do you
got
keep
4
that?
one.
I mean, why do you remember these details? Like, is it for a party
It's like the
trick?
scientific name is pretty cool but to know there's actually, because the Wolbachia only affects Aedes aegypti, that's why prevention measures are important, because there's also other mosquitoes that's actually not Aedes mosquitoes that still spread dengue.
I see.
Yeah, so basically, there's the Aedes aegypti, like what you said, the Aedes albopictus.
Yes, that one.
And then there's the Anopheles epiroticus and Anopheles sinensis. I'm just going to say it. And the Culex quinquefasciatus.
So it's 4 types.
4 types in Singapore. But the ones that carry dengue are the Aedes aegypti and the Aedes albopictus. And generally, the Aedes, the mosquitoes, they both have black and white stripes. But the aegypti has 2 white bands on the body, whereas the albopictus has 1 central white band. And the Anopheles is light brown with pale and dark scales on legs. I'm colorblind, so to me they all look the same. But even when it comes to biting times, right, they differ, no? So for the Aedes, they both subspecies bite a certain time of day. For the Anopheles and Sulex, they bite another time of the day. When do you all think the Aedes tends to bite?
When people are sweaty and exercising.
Time of day, Terence. Time of day.
Time of the day.
At night.
At night.
No, but it's at primarily daytime. But it can bite you at night if it's a well-lit area.
So they need
the
light.
They need light.
Why? What do they need light?
Why? I'm not really sure. But
Is it temperature, warmth, or something?
Terence, I'm not really sure, Terence.
Okay. It's a good question.
It is a
It
good
is a good
question.
question.
Also because the other 2 species, the Anopheles and the Sulex, they bite at night.
I see.
Yeah. So I mean, it seems like even within the mosquito species, they differ enough that behaviors like this can manifest itself.
I see.
So
Yeah,
we
so-
allow many species to survive at the same time. We don't fight.
Yes, correct.
Evolution, evolution.
Evolution.
But is there a difference in like how they bite you, like how long they bite you for and things like that?
Not that I know of.
Okay,
I mean, ultimately, that's why for us, right, whenever we get bitten, it is just getting bitten by a mosquito. There's you don't know the Aedes bite versus the Sulex bite or something like that. Generally, it's a mosquito bite. And Anopheles tends to be the malaria carrier. Sulex tends to be the West Nile virus carrier. But Aedes is the dengue carrier. So, I mean, in terms of going back to the Wolbachia, right? In 1924, it was first discovered. 1936, it was officially named the Wolbachia pipientis. But when do you think the Project Wolbachia started to have its legs in Singapore?
I would think early 20s. Yeah.
2020.
2000s? Oh, sorry. Yeah, 2000s, because I feel like that's where, got dengue around, must do something.
Early
Early
2000s.
2000s.
Okay.
Like 2000, 2001.
Okay. Terence, your guess?
I think like 2015 or something.
Wow, not bad.
Really?
The
So late?
Terence, got a better estimate than
Oh,
the science girl.
I think I know someone who works in the health sciences who was talking about it being tested that many years ago. Yeah.
I see. So 2016 was when it started to have field studies in Singapore.
Oh, okay.
But the globally, the large scale field trials started in the early 2010s in Australia, Indonesia, Brazil, Vietnam. But Singapore was the first country in the world, or one of the first, to basically roll out a Wolbachia program nationally. Yeah, I don't think there's on record any other country that has done it. They've done it in smaller parts, but Singapore, the first country that has just said, you know what, we're going to just flood our market with like mosquitoes lah.
So is there a reason why Singapore is so conducive for it that they wanted to do it so quickly?
I think because from what I found, even NEA, they've been very diligent in trying to curb the spread of dengue. But the cases of dengue has not really gone down that much. Like 2020 was 35,000, right? And over the years, for Singapore, there was 2022 was 32,000.
Wow.
So even between 2020 to 2022, there was a big number lah. But of course, with COVID and all, you never know how that affects. 2023 was about 7,000 cases. 2004 estimated 7,600 cases. So it's going down, but up till 2022, right, it was quite dire lah. There were a lot of cases.
Yeah.
And you can imagine with the block and the SAW, nobody really understands the acronyms. It still was a problem lah. So when this came about, I think they just took the step to roll this out nationally because of the success of the field studies. So even the way they rolled it out, right, there's basically two ways the countries have rolled out these Wolbachia projects lah. There is the replacement strategy, and the other one is the suppression strategy. So if I were to ask you all to harbor a guess, right, like what do you think is the difference? Anybody? Suppression versus replacement?
Replacement, it means like, I think the population of Wolbachia mosquitoes just flooded everyone out. So the competition got too fierce for breeding and all. So that I think that's what it meant by replacement, right? Like where you just flood a whole location such that there's so many male mosquitoes going for only that many females. A bit like Tinder on a Saturday night, the kind of thing, right? Then it's very hard for anything good to happen.
That's for replacement.
Yeah.
And for suppression, MJ, what's your guess?
Suppression. I thought it was something to do with the mechanism of how the Wolbachia works. So you suppress the females. Yeah. Actually, what am I saying?
Suppress the females.
From
gender equality, MJ.
In the mosquito world, no such thing. Lucky we're not mosquitoes. Yeah. Or like wait, shouldn't your explanation sounds like a suppress one? Like you flood the area with males, that you suppress the number of females.
I mean,
right, yeah.
You guys are overlapping a bit, but yeah, Terence's one is more along the lines of the suppression. The big difference is for the suppression strategy, it is only releasing male Wolbachia mosquitoes.
Okay.
For the replacement, it is male and female.
Okay.
Because, I mentioned just now that the Wolbachia bacteria in a mosquito, not only does it, impact how their offspring might hatch or not hatch, but it reduces the transmission of dengue. So in certain countries, they actually did release both male and female Wolbachia carrying mosquitoes. So basically, they want to get the Wolbachia bacteria into as many mosquitoes as possible to have the whole population of mosquitoes carry Wolbachia. And there's almost no cause for concern. Okay, even if it increases a bit, we're going to give females and males, whereas suppression is only males lah. So Singapore took the suppression thing.
Okay.
And there are a few big reasons. One big reason is because of the differences between male and female mosquitoes. So can you all just shout out like what are some of the biggest differences between male and female mosquitoes?
Only females suck blood.
Wow.
The males don't. The
I
males drink
didn't know
nectar
that.
actually, very cute.
Oh,
They go to flowers. They drink nectar. So the males go to flower, then they,
Yeah.
And that's all they do. And then after that, they just breed, and that's their life.
They do their job by spreading their genes with the female, then they die.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
so the males are like the tai-tais. They go there, drink nectar and all that. And the females are the ones, pulling in the work lah,
Yeah, making a cut, sucking the blood and having the babies.
because they
Wow.
need the blood to make the eggs. Yeah, so that is a
see.
big difference. So the reason why I personally was very interested in Wolbachia was, I think even last year, I realized there were many mosquitoes near my house, the entrance. And I was like, what is going on? And I actually called the authorities and they said, this is part of Project Wolbachia, don't worry. I was like, what's Project Wolbachia? And then they told me, these mosquitoes don't bite.
Oh, I'm surprised. That means they didn't ask you to check your pots or your pans and all these things for stagnant water.
No, I think they got a few complaints, so they sent someone down and there was no breach.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So then, I think even these past few weeks, I mean, in July and all, like literally the mosquitoes are clustered around the shoes and all.
Okay.
But they don't bite.
I
But
see.
psychologically, I think you just feel like
Yeah,
there's
it's
something
like
wrong.
wrong,
lah.
buzzing around, yeah.
Is it because of like you got nectar in your shoes or something? Is it?
Maybe my sweat is sweet. lah.
Or they
kinda
react to the
disgusting.
heat. Yeah.
heat? Oh yeah.
Maybe, or they think
Night
you're a
ones.
female, like they just, they'll just zzz around. So they will go near you, but they won't bite you on.
You got
Yeah,
a scent
correct.
you got a scent of a female mosquito.
My magnetic
Eee.
personality lah. So it has to be there lah. So if I would ask you based on those big differences, right? Why do you think Singapore was very clear we are going to do the suppression and not replacement?
Because just like the humans, they're not procreating enough. Mosquitoes are not procreating enough, so they decided.
Valiant effort, but completely wrong, Terence. MJ.
I mean, I did read somewhere. I'm not so sure if this is the correct answer that like if the female actually has the Wolbachia, right, and the male has it, right, and when they mate, right, they actually they reverse the mechanism. So it became like the Wolbachia, what it's supposed to do, it doesn't work anymore. So I think that could be the reason, like, why they chose the suppression method.
I mean, that one, I think the Wolbachia still gets passed down. So there might be some suppression of transmission. But one big thing that even the government officials echoed when they announced this project was because for years, right, the population, all the citizens have been told we need to reduce the number of mosquitoes. So if replacement, you are not just trying to reduce transmission of dengue, you are literally putting in mosquitoes that can bite people. So you imagine from the government's perspective, they're like, okay, we want to curb mosquitoes. For the short term, we're going to release these mosquitoes that might bite you. Whereas for males, right, they can release 7 million a week, but they won't bite anyone.
I see.
Yeah, so the messaging was a big reason why they went with this approach.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so it makes sense, and it can also be paused anytime with no lasting impact, because you take the males out, then the non-Wolbachia males and non-Wolbachia females can mate, and the population of might not be shifted that much. But if you flood the market with Wolbachia males and females, the population will be changed like forever. lah.
They say it can be stopped anytime, meaning
They
like
just stop releasing.
the 7 million every week.
Just stop.
They just stop. Oh.
Yeah.
And that won't cause any adverse effects.
I mean, it might reverse lah, because you think about a mosquito's life cycle is 2 to 3 weeks. So within a few months, within a few years, it might go back to its status quo lah. But if every mosquito has Wolbachia germs, you are literally altering the population composition forever.
Oh, wow.
So there's a bigger risk lah. But I think you imagine in Singapore, can you imagine, okay, for this campaign for the next year, you all are going to get bitten a lot. But the long term is to reduce dengue. Confirm people will complain. Right, confirm they'll be like, no, what nonsense is this?
Not a good look for the agency.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is, after the field studies that happened, they actually started rolling it out to quite a large amount. But they also had to deal with a lot of questions. So first example was like, do they bite? No, they don't. Like what MJ said, I've never seen a mosquito near a flower. If I ever saw a mosquito near a flower, I would think it's lost. But the male mosquitoes, they just drink nectar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They also cannot survive outside insects. So you can imagine, right, if there's this nationwide thing to release millions of mosquitoes with this bacteria, what if the bacteria comes to humans or something? The thing is, it only spreads, it doesn't really spread because the males won't bite. Even if it's in the female, it does not harm humans. But it's not say like if the blood spills on the thing, it will spread and all, because it cannot survive outside insects.
Yeah.
And even if you happen to swallow a mosquito, it cannot survive in the digestive tract.
Okay.
Yeah. So when it comes to this, it is males only, and males also look slightly differently from females. I mean, you know, the body parts, the legs, the proboscis, the antenna. How do you think the males look different from the females?
Bigger? Are they bigger?
No.
Smaller.
I think it's
Smaller. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Inside what the female is bigger one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry
the
for
proboscis
The proportions,
ones?
the
Yeah,
size of it.
the female is like sharper and pointier and longer because they are supposed to pierce. But for the males, is fluffier or something because their whole goal is just to suck the nectar, so it doesn't have to be as sharp or as long. Yeah.
Yeah,
see.
and I mean another thing is just like humans, males have bushy, hairy antenna, while the antennas of females are a lot less hairy. So I don't know how visible it is to see of actual mosquitoes flying around you, but that's one big difference. So
Can.
Oh, you can.
You can compare. Yeah, I'll catch before, then I will see.
Wow, you catch and see. Okay.
So how often do you interact with like mosquitoes for recreation or for research?
I mean, same thing happened also. Like there was a flock of mosquitoes. I'm wondering what's going on. But then I went to check the Wolbachia release. So they were released in batches at different towns. Then I realized, my town is now part of the time lah.
I see.
Yeah, and I was like, okay.
Oh, so you went to check yourself lah.
Yeah, they will show you when they're gonna release which part of your town also. So actually not bad, quite updated.
So, but yours, you actually called them in to complain
Yeah,
about
because
it.
I didn't see the signs.
Do you feel gaslit when they told you that it was a Project Wolbachia?
I was
It's for your own good.
No, because I do feel the comms didn't explain it enough. They just said part of this project will be releasing mosquitoes. Then I'm like, why?
Why?
Why would you do that? And I guess over the call, they're not going to tell me all the details. So, and even when my neighbors were like, hey, there's so many mosquitoes, then I borrowed their
the zapper.
The zapper kind of thing. Then I was swinging like a madman. But yeah, so that's Project Wolbachia. And you mentioned, the rollout. So basically, they have been very detailed in their rollout. Essentially 5 phases. So 2016, there was the phase 1. So it was piloted in Bradle Heights, Tampines West, and Nee Soon East. And it was a small scale test. They found that there was a 50% survival rate and 50% population suppression. But there were some challenges. Migration, couldn't reach the high floors, and there was minimal accidental female release, which is good. Because I'll go into how these mosquitoes are bred, but of course to breed, you need females. But you only want to release the males. So some cheeky females, they snuck in and they also got released. Then phase 2, it was in Tampines West and Nee Soon East. So there was 70 to 80% suppression. Phase 3, there were 4 times more blocks. Sustained 90% mosquito suppression with fewer releases. Phase 4 was a large-scale deployment in Tampines and Yishun. 7 times the block coverage versus Phase 1. Dengue cases dropped 65 to 80%. And in Phase 5, between 2020 to 2022, the entire Yishun and Tampines, which encompasses 142,000 households, mosquitoes were released there. And there was 98% suppression and 88% drop in dengue cases.
Was there a reason why they chose these areas for these phases and the tests?
Because of the density and the size. Because if you look at the phases, they were going from parts of estates to full-on estates. And I would imagine, I didn't read this anyway, but I would imagine for the town council for implementation, you don't want to spread across too many estates. Yeah. So because that was rolled out, by Q1 2025, the coverage will grow from 480,000 to 580,000. So after 2024, and this might be when you encountered, it was Bukit Merah, Telok Blangah, Clementi West Coast, Commonwealth, and Hougang, Serangoon Central North, Jurong East, and Jurong West. So it is happening a lot. And I don't know if you've seen videos of how these are released. You get individuals who take out these little canisters, they open it and they kind of blow from the back to push out the mosquitoes. Yeah. And
why do they have to blow though?
Because if you look at the canister, there is basically like netting inside. So sometimes you open, the mosquitoes are just chilling.
Yeah.
You need to blow them away. And they walk around with like baskets of these canisters.
And then so they're just carrying these canisters around, walking to like a field or something.
Yeah.
And then just blowing.
Not
Yeah.
field, HDB estates. Like they go to different
Yeah,
floors.
the void deck, right? Then
Yeah,
you
the
just
void deck.
Are they wearing like protective gear like
No,
beekeepers or something?
they don't bite,
Oh, they
Terence.
don't. Okay.
They don't bite. Yeah,
The
see?
mosquitoes are fine.
No, but it's such a monumental thing that you're doing.
Can you imagine if you saw someone in your estate wearing hazardous material, then blowing stuff
Wow, I
and
run
walking
run for your lives.
There'll be
Terence.
1,000 calls. Why is there so many mosquitoes around my shoes?
That's a horrible release strategy, man. In fact, they keep it as a non-discreet as possible. People just blowing these black canisters. But basically, the production, right? If you look at videos of the facility in Ang Mo Kio, it is insane. It is like a super high-tech lab, essentially. So different stages. So the introduction of Wolbachia into the eggs is done by micro-injection. And then there's the breeding and egg collection stage. So if you look, there are these small kind of cages with very fine netting where the males and females are there. And they put something at the bottom called ovipods, where basically after the males and females, have funky time, they go there and lay the eggs. So then they take out the legs. The collected eggs are hatched. Within a day, they become the tiny first instar larvae. So when you look at the larvae, right, they're all in some sort of liquid suspension. That's why, they say mosquitoes will breed in standing water. And to count these larvae, I think up till 2 years ago, it used to be done manually. And it would take someone up to 2 hours to count like 4,000 larvae.
Wow.
So now they just pour it into this machine and it can count up to 500,000 larvae in an hour.
Oh, wow.
And that really helped to scale the production to millions of mosquitoes per week.
Wow.
So, and then there's this part where they are transferred to racks. Like you imagine like a big fridge, except the temperature is maintained, I think, at 26 degrees. It's very shallow racks of liquid that are red in color because they have food for the larvae. So you pull out, each rack has about 26,000 larvae.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
and it's just growing for like 7 days. And then after that, they grow into pupae. So then the pupae are separated into males and females. And I think the difference in size is basically like 20 microns, which is damn small. And of course, they don't do it manually. They do it via a machine, like a micro sieve. Have you seen the facilities or?
No, I think it's very restricted. So
yeah.
probably very hard to get in. Yeah, one day.
But there are videos out there, and it's fascinating. So everything is like, you almost look at these mosquitoes, it's not like insects, it's like a commodity like that. They're just growing millions and releasing it every week. And then there's the final sorting and the release. And that's how it propagates. So 2016 was 400,000 males a week. 2019 was 1 million. 2022 was 2.5. And 2025 was 7 million. So there are a few agencies that are involved. Of course, there's NEA, the National Environment Agency. There's the Environmental Health Institute. There's Orino Tech. But there is also one company that is part of a bigger tech company that everybody knows. It's more a big tech companies.
Oh.
Is it
Yeah, take a guess.
Tea?
Tea?
Oh, not Temasek.
No, like big tech, global.
Oh,
big,
global.
Like the big tech.
Google?
Yeah, it's Alphabet.
Oh, Alphabet.
So
okay.
Verily Life Sciences, they partnered with the Singapore government. It is the life sciences arm of Alphabet. And they have a program called the Debug program, which is what is being done in Singapore. So this whole research and a lot of the tech work is done in partnership with Verily Life Sciences. And then there's the National Robotics Program, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Sustainability and the Environment. So, I mean, very interesting. But with all this, right, what are some of the criticisms or controversies that you think it has run into?
I mean, definitely mosquito breeding used to be such a dirty term, right? Like it's such a bad thing to do around your house.
Yeah.
To now do it at an institutional scale.
Yeah.
Probably and without educating people like you enough, right?
Yeah.
There'll be all this outrage being manufactured.
Exactly. So there was outrage. I think there have been articles quoting residents in areas like East Coast where people were overwhelmed by buzzing mosquitoes. Some were not comfortable with opening with their windows. Some went just like madmen and women just swiping around. But the NEA apparently clarified that the mosquitoes are harmless.
Yeah.
So that was one. What do you think, MJ? What other controversies or
I
criticism?
hear a lot. People will say like, "Hey, you do genetic modification of the mosquito. Then it sounds dangerous. It sounds like diabolical." Right? But actually, it's not lah. It's a bacterium.
Yeah.
It's an infection lah. Basically, yeah. So the genetic modification is a very big misconception.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not genetically modified. But I think anytime you hear, something is inserted into this insect and then sent.
Wolbachia some more. Yeah.
So apparently experts have warned that dengue, which is an RNA virus, could mutate to overcome the Wolbachia effect.
Oh dear.
Which means that you're releasing all these mosquitoes and not at a cheap cost. It might all be for nothing.
So it means we're expediting the evolution of the dengue.
Resistant?
There's a risk. But I think all studies have showed that generally it's quite positive.
Okay.
And I mean, I know the Indonesian researcher in 2022, her name is Dr. Adi Utarini, an Indonesian researcher. So she led a large Wolbachia field trial in Yogyakarta. And she was named Time's 100 most influential people in 2021. Because even as recent as that, this was seen as a breakthrough. So any other controversies or criticisms?
Anything about animal welfare?
No.
That we are
No one cares about mosquitoes.
affecting
Oh my
mosquito like
gosh.
compatibility and making their sex lives very difficult.
I mean, I didn't come across that lah. Maybe there might be some mosquito rights activists, but I didn't come across that. There was that criticism of high cost and complexity.
Okay.
Because you think about like how expensive this must be, and of course, like given that it's all males to be released, but females are part of the process, there is a worry that there might be accidental release of female mosquitoes, lah. Which means more people get bitten, lah.
Yeah.
Then if you call the authorities, then you show proof that you got bitten, then how like that?
Did they show the number of how many females, right? Or they just say minimal?
Minimal.
Hey, okay,
minimal.
okay.
Because I think even the way they survey these mosquitoes, there are these traps that trap these mosquitoes, and then it's the sample size. Like,
Yes, the black color
the
small
Gavi
pots.
trap or
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
you can see it in the neighborhood, yeah.
Yeah, I never knew what that was, but apparently.
Also, it's to trap mosquitoes.
Yeah,
is it?
because they can't sample all the millions of mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So they get like a sample of, I don't know, 1,000,
Okay.
few hundred, and that's how they gauge the suppression. lah.
And where do they usually put these traps? Around the
It's on the ground. It's like
estate,
a round black color box. Then with a tiny
yes,
hole.
yes.
But they put it at any Wolbachia.
Yeah, that's right. I have seen them around.
I see people accidentally kick it.
Yeah. I always think it's one of those like tin cans or something.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you-
So yeah, it's where mosquitoes get caught for surveys. And I mean, with everything that we've discussed, of course, there's the risk of public confusion and mistrust, which is why maybe there hasn't been a full-on scale. There hasn't been an NDP song about Wolbachia. It's just about the block and the saw,
Yeah.
the wipeout. I don't think there's like a Wolbachia song or something.
Oh my
because
goodness.
unless
Idea though.
people, the what?
Idea though.
It's a good
But
idea.
if you think about it, unless you go into the details, it's still releasing 7 million mosquitoes a week into the population, lah.
Yeah.
Which just sounds like a horrible thing, lah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not slowing down. The plans for the next few years, like what I mentioned, aim to cover 50% of households by 2026. Faster releases. Apparently, they're going to do van-based mosquito
Wow.
releases.
Whoa.
You just imagine van and just
Whoa.
shooting out
Wow.
mosquitoes.
Party bus.
Yeah. There'll be targeted clusters. So active dengue clusters, they will release Wolbachia there. More efficiencies with R&D and global partners to scale up and innovate.
So is Singapore seen as like a innovator, leader in this field? Or?
And that's the interesting question. I think there's a lot of studies coming out, but it feels like the whole publicity around Wolbachia project as a general best practice, not just in Singapore, is to keep it on the down low. Like you can imagine if Singapore pioneers some new technology or something, it would be something nice to shout about, right?
Yeah.
Because in this case, like Singapore was the first country that I'm pretty sure to roll out this nationally. And if you think about the political risk, you're just saying we're going to release 7 million mosquitoes a week. It sounds like a horrible plan. But they went ahead and did it.
Wow.
But I'm sure that in research studies and all, there have been a lot of papers that have been written about Singapore, but it's not shouted about a lot. So does this make you have a new appreciation for mosquitoes or not?
I mean, definitely, I'm not going to complain as much if there's a song with
Yeah,
them.
like you understand. It's annoying, but like you understand lah.
Yeah,
You
but I have
kinda-
to be sure that it's because of a release of mosquitoes. That's
Yeah,
why,
suddenly like got
That's the
female
real ones,
mosquitoes
yeah.
just hanging out, like
Yeah.
girls' night out, and you're
Yeah.
like, what's up?
Mosquito party, oh.
Then you put your hand in the meat bite.
The literally mosquito party that you go and kena bitten or.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, it does. I mean, if anything, Singapore, for better or worse, we're always like this test bed for a lot of new technologies, right?
Yeah,
and people
yeah.
now, they're even talking about nuclear energy and everything in Singapore. And yeah, there's a lot of discussions about is it even possible in a place like
Yeah.
Singapore. But I guess like mosquitoes are something that every day we deal with and we're very irritated by. So if there's a solution to solve it like right now, I think everyone will just jump on it also, right?
Yeah, correct. But this one, it is going to be a long-term thing. The good thing is the numbers are going down. Even this year, numbers are going down. So hopefully it carries on.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah.
I mean, we small country also easier to try and
Roll
roll
out
out
this kind of
things
things,
like yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Lucky it worked out for us.
The what?
Lucky it worked out for us.
I mean, that's what we can see on the data.
Yeah,
Hopefully there's no like giant mutating mosquito in the works or something.
So is there anything that you took away from this that you think would be an interesting party trick or party tidbit to share about Wolbachia mosquitoes?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, do you know we use like mosquito to fight
Other mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes.
Other mosquitoes.
Yeah. It's like you use poison to fight poison, I think that's very cool, right?
Fight fire with fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Mosquito on mosquito
Yeah,
violence.
mosquito on mosquito leh. How
Mosquito violence, exactly.
pit them against themselves.
Actually, it's not violence. They are falling in
Oh
love.
yeah, actually, we're helping them mate.
Oh, it's a
Yeah,
horrible
like
love
Tinder.
story, but then you render the female like
Cannot hatch.
cannot hatch. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
as though the
It's
baby,
like
oh dear, wow.
messing with their heads, no.
Wow,
That's
that's
true,
drama.
that's
That's
We
toxic.
bring you all together, but then we screw up your future.
It's a toxic love story.
Yeah,
Toxic
it's
love
like Romeo and
story.
Juliet.
Yeah.
And that sums up Project Wolbachia, a toxic love story there for the betterment of Singaporeans and to reduce dengue incidences around the world. So hope you enjoyed that. Remember, you heard it first on Tell You First.
Tell You First is produced by Ministry of Funny and brought to you by Mediacorp. This episode was hosted and produced by Terence Chia and Haresh Tilani and featured Biogirl MJ. Sound engineering by Tristen Yeak. Special thanks to Danny Cody from Mediacorp. And if you're a fan of our work, you can follow the podcast on the meLISTEN app, Spotify or Apple Podcasts. You can also watch this episode first on the meLISTEN app or on YouTube 1 week later through the Mediacorp Entertainment channel. Links to these will be in the episode description. Thank you for listening and see you on the next episode of Tell You First.